You're not going to believe what we've got today, so do me a favor, get comfortable, smash that like button, and let's get right into it. Because something is happening around Foxborough that starts as news about everybody else, and ends with the Patriots quietly getting a gift. There's a power shift brewing in the AFC East. There's a rival choosing to stay stuck in neutral. There's a small roster move involving wide receiver Brandon Smith that could matter sooner than people think. And there's a leadership hit on defense that might test the whole next man up thing at the worst time. So here's my question to Patriots Nation. Do you trust the plan enough to believe this is the beginning of the takeover? Or are you still waiting for the other shoe to drop? Because let's be honest, after Tom Brady left in 2020, the whole league treated New England like a fallen empire. Like the dynasty was gone, the fear was gone, and the Patriots were going to live in the wilderness for a decade. And then when Bill Belichick got fired and that season under Jared Mayo didn't exactly inspire confidence, it felt like everyone outside New England was ready to throw a parade. Finally, they said, the Patriots are done. The problem for them is that franchises don't stay down forever when they solve the two hardest problems in football, quarterback and culture. And that's the piece people keep underestimating. The Patriots didn't just make a draft pick. They drafted Drake May, a quarterback you can actually build around. And Robert Kraft didn't just hire a coach. He brought in Mike Vrabel, a guy who brings order, identity, toughness, and that ruthless edge back into the building. When you hit on those two things, QB and head coach, you don't hope to be competitive. You become a problem again, fast. And now, 5 years after Brady walked away, it already feels like the Patriots are back in the conversation as a real threat. Not just to win games, but to climb right back to the top of the division. Now here's where it gets fun. Because the story today isn't just the Patriots are rising, it's that the rest of the AFC East keeps making decisions that make that rise even easier. And I need you to lock in on this, because it's one of those things that sounds like petty rival gossip, until you realize it directly impacts the Patriots' runway for the next few seasons. Let's start with Miami. The Dolphins are in that uncomfortable spot where the shine is wearing off. The young genius offensive wizard label around Mike McDaniel isn't hitting the same anymore. And the heat on him is real, especially after the quarterback drama. Because when you give Tua Tagovailoa a massive extension and then you end up benching him, that's not a small storyline. That's not a weekly adjustment. That's a locker room earthquake. That's the kind of move that creates tension, creates sides, creates questions about direction. And when a team starts asking those questions out loud, it usually means big changes are coming. That's what everybody expected, right? The assumption around the league was that Miami would eventually hit the reset button, move on, start fresh, find a new voice, try to recapture the momentum they once had. But according to NFL insider reporting, the Dolphins don't have plans to move on from McDaniel next year. Let that sink in. The pressure is rising, the results haven't matched the hype, and yet the organization is basically signaling, we're staying the course. And I don't know about you, but as a Patriots fan, that's not scary. That's encouraging. Because here's the reality. If your rival is struggling to reach relevance and they refuse to make meaningful changes, that's a competitive advantage for everyone else in the division, especially the team that's actually trending upward. The longer Miami stays trapped in the same cycle, the longer the Patriots can keep building without having to deal with some sudden, scary overhaul next door. It doesn't mean Miami can't be dangerous on any given Sunday, but it does mean the odds of them becoming a consistent year-over-year threat don't look great if the core issues stay the same. Now flip over to the Jets. They're not going on some big coaching search either, because they just hired Aaron Glenn this past offseason. So again, another division rival is in that new coach, new era phase. But we all know this. A new head coach doesn't automatically fix decades of chaos. And when your biggest problem is ownership, urgency, and direction, when it feels like the franchise is always chasing a vibe instead of building a foundation, then one hire doesn't suddenly turn you into a division bully. You still have to prove you can sustain it. You still have to prove you can build an identity. You still have to prove the locker room is following the same message all season long, not just for a couple of weeks. So what does that leave us with? It leaves us with a division that looks less like a 4-team knife fight and more like a 2-team race. Patriots and Bills. And yeah, I said it. Because while Miami and New York keep trying to convince themselves they're one move away, New England is doing the thing that actually wins in this league building the quarterback, building the culture, and letting everything else fall into place. Now here comes the part that should make your heart rate go up a little bit. Because this isn't just long-term talk. This isn't just maybe next year. There's a real argument that the path to the top of the AFC East is getting clearer right now, this season. With 2 games left, the math gets simple. If New England wins out and Buffalo slips, the door swings open. And if you're a Patriots fan who's watched this team claw its way back into relevance, you know how dangerous that can be. Because once this franchise sees daylight, it doesn't tiptoe, it sprints. And look at what Buffalo is staring at, the Eagles. That's not a get-right game. That's not a soft landing. That's a heavyweight fight. And this is where the division picture gets spicy, because New England's remaining path isn't that same kind of gauntlet. So you're sitting here thinking, wait, are we really in a spot where the Bills could stumble and the Patriots could steal this? I'm not telling you it's guaranteed. I'm telling you it's possible. And in late December, possible is all you need. Because if Buffalo can't beat the champs, then the whole division narrative changes fast. The crown stops looking untouchable. The aura shifts, the pressure shifts. And suddenly, the Patriots are not the team trying to catch up. They're the team threatening to take what used to be theirs. Now, while everybody's busy staring at the standings like it's a stock ticker, the Patriots quietly did something that tells you they're treating this stretch like it matters right now. They added wide receiver Brandon Smith to the practice squad. And I know, practice squad doesn't sound sexy. But this is the NFL in December. Depth is not a luxury, it's survival. Here's the context. The Patriots are dealing with injuries at wide receiver. Kayshon Boutte is in concussion protocol, and Demario Pop Douglas tweaked his hamstring. That changes your weekly plan fast, especially if you're trying to protect a young quarterback and keep your timing game clean. So what do? You don't wait for the worst-case scenario to hit you. You build insurance. And Brandon Smith is exactly that kind of move. This is a guy who's been grinding for years. He played college ball at Iowa, went undrafted, spent time in Dallas, then bounced around, XFL, UFL, stints with the Cardinals and Jets, basically living that prove-it-everyday life. And when you look at what he's shown recently, you can see why New England took a shot. He's had productive preseason moments. He's contributed on special teams. And he's been in systems where he had to learn fast or get left behind. That matters in a Patriots building that's trying to rebuild standards and trust. And don't miss the little subplot here. Smith was with the Jets recently. So if injuries force an elevation and he gets a chance this week, that's the kind of, wait, what? Revenge game wrinkle the football gods love. Not saying he's suddenly WR1. I'm saying the move signals urgency. It signals that Vrabel's staff is looking at the next 2 games like they can't afford to be thin at any key spot. Now here's the question I want you to argue about in the comments. Do you like these low-risk, high-urgency depth moves in December, or would you rather see the Patriots chase a bigger name even if it's messy? Because to me, this is the adult way to build, especially when your offense is trying to grow up around a young QB. And speaking of growing up, let's talk about the win that had people doing double takes. Patriots 28, Ravens 24. A game that, if we're being real, wasn't supposed to go our way. And yet it did. That fourth quarter deep shot from Drake May to Kyle Williams, absolute money. The kind of throw that makes you sit back and go, oh, so that's what it looks like when the ceiling is real. But outside of the highlight, this game got ugly. It got physical. It got messy. It got played on Baltimore's terms. And New England still walked out with the win. The Patriots took hits like a team that played a playoff game in December. They got leaned on by Derrick Henry. They were down. They had every excuse to fold. Instead, they bit down and dragged a very good team into the mud. No style points, no apologies. Just a win that counts the same in the standings. Now here's where the strategic part kicks in. Everybody wants to talk about the big throw, and we should. But I'm watching the run game evolution like a hawk, because that's where playoff football lives. And there's a fascinating wrinkle being discussed by analysts. The Patriots' shotgun run game has shown signs of turning a corner. The idea is simple. If your run looks cleaner out of shotgun, it helps you stay multiple, it keeps May comfortable, and it forces defenses to hesitate just long enough to create chunk plays. But there's tension on both sides of the ball. The Patriots have been one of the league's tougher run-stopping groups, yet lately it's felt less like a brick wall and more like a unit that can get stressed if you keep leaning. That's not panic. That's reality in December, especially when bodies are banged up and teams are desperate. So here's the big picture question. Can this offense keep evolving without turning May into a hero ball machine? Because the next step isn't just moonballs and scrambles. It's the boring stuff that wins. The checkdowns, the quick game, the third and short answers, the 2-minute drill decisions, the take what the defense gives you discipline. If the Patriots can marry that with a steadier run game rhythm, especially from shotgun, then you're not just dangerous for one Sunday night. You're dangerous when it matters. And just when you're starting to feel that confidence build, the football gods hit you with the thing every contender hates. A captain might not be available. Robert Spillane, starting linebacker, defensive leader, signal caller, has been dealing with a lower body injury situation that's kept him out. And Vrabel basically admitted it would take a Christmas miracle for him to go this week. That matters. Spillane has led the team in tackles and has been the kind of tone setter you feel on film. Energy, communication, physicality. When you remove that from the middle of your defense, it's not just next guy up. It's who's wearing the headset on the field, and does everyone stay connected when the Jets start throwing tempo and trying to steal free yards? The answer, at least right now, is Jack Gibbens. And this is where it gets interesting, because Gibbens is not some random emergency button. He's a Vrabel-type linebacker. Tough, smart, willing, physical. The Patriots signed him as a free agent back in March, and he's been asked to do real work when Spillane's been out. You're also looking at veterans like Jelani Tavai and Christian Ellis carrying more weight in the rotation. And that's the real test of culture. Can the defense keep its identity when a captain is missing? Can the communication stay clean? Can the tackling stay violent and disciplined? Can the front keep the run fits tight so the back end isn't playing emergency football? So let me bring it all together, Patriots Nation. This is why Foxborough feels different right now. The division is giving you openings. The Patriots are acting like they plan to take them. They're reinforcing depth with moves like Brandon Smith. They're winning gritty games against teams like Baltimore. And they're getting tested, right now, by injuries that force the locker room to prove the culture is real. Now it's on you. What's the biggest story here to you? AFC East rivals staying stuck, May's ceiling flashing in prime time, the Patriots quietly building depth, or the defense holding the line without its captain? Drop your take in the comments. And if you're rocking with me, hit like, subscribe, and make sure you're here every day, because Foxborough is getting interesting again.